All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about something really powerful, a social phenomenon that honestly affects every single one of us, whether we know it or not.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever seen something happen, something that just didn't feel right, maybe some teasing or someone getting left out, and you just stayed silent? You didn't do anything?
Look, if you're nodding your head right now, you are definitely not alone. Most of us have been there. It's a super common human reaction, so no judgment here at all. What we're going to do is just try to understand why that happens.
So that's what this is all about, the psychology of silence. We're going to get into something called the bystander effect. And really, just understanding this idea is the first big step if we want to figure out how to maybe act a little differently next time.
Okay, so here it is, the bystander effect. The main idea is actually pretty simple, but it's really powerful. Basically, the more people who are around to see something bad happen, the less likely it is that any single one of them will step in to help. I know, it sounds kind of backwards, right? But the psychology behind it is absolutely real.
So what's going through our heads in that exact moment? Why do we freeze? Well, it usually comes down to one of three really strong psychological reasons. Let's break them down.
First up, and this is a big one, is just plain fear. That little voice in your head that says, if I speak up, they might turn on me. And you know what? That's not irrational. That's a survival instinct kicking in. You're doing a quick risk assessment, and your brain's #1 job is to keep you safe.
Okay, the second reason is something called diffusion of responsibility. It's basically the somebody else will do it effect. You look around, you see a bunch of other people, and your brain just kind of assumes, oh, someone else has got this. The responsibility feels like it's spread out across the whole crowd, so the weight on your own shoulders feels a lot lighter.
And the third one, this is huge. It's social pressure. The need to belong is one of the most powerful drivers we have as humans. So the fear of sticking out, of losing your friends, or even just getting made fun of for trying to help, that can be enough to keep anyone quiet.
All right, so we get the why. We understand the psychology behind staying silent. But here's the good part. Let's talk about what we can do. And you don't have to be some kind of superhero to make a real difference. There are totally safe and really smart ways to help.
We're going to focus on 3 main strategies. And the key thing here is that none of them involve you jumping into a big confrontation. These are all ways to help that can totally shift what's happening without putting you in the middle of it.
Strategy number 1 is all about showing social support. And this can be so simple. We're talking about small things like just going and sitting next to the person or asking them a question, including them, even just walking with them. These little acts, they might not seem like much, but they completely shatter that feeling of being totally alone.
Okay, strategy 2 is so important, and we need to get this straight. Telling a trusted adult is not snitching or tattling. It's being responsible. Seriously, you are not supposed to handle big, complicated situations all by yourself. Letting a teacher or a parent know what's going on is the smart, mature thing to do, and it can stop things from getting much, much worse. And number 3 is a really clever tactic. Distract and de-escalate. You can literally just walk up and change the subject. Hey, do we have homework for that class? Or invite the person who's being targeted to come do something with you. Hey, let's go grab a drink. You're basically shifting the focus and breaking the tension without ever having to confront anyone directly. It's a great way to help without putting yourself in danger.
Okay, so we've talked about what to do. Now we have to talk about what not to do, because sometimes, even with good intentions, we can accidentally make things way worse.
The big rule here is do not reward the bad behavior. That means not joining in, not even laughing along. And this is huge today. Do not record it. Don't pull out your phone to film it for entertainment, and definitely don't share it. All that does is make the hurt bigger and give the person doing the bullying exactly what they want, an audience.
So let's zoom out for a second. It might feel like these are all just small things, right? But this is how you change everything. These quiet, individual actions are exactly what it takes to shift the entire culture of a place.
Think about it like this. Bullying and other harmful stuff, it needs an audience of silent people to survive. It thrives in that silence. But the moment one person does something, even something small, that bubble of silence pops. You've just changed the whole dynamic.
So if you remember nothing else, remember this simple 3-step guide. 1. Support the person being hurt, as long as it's safe for you to do so. 2. Do not give the harmful behavior any kind of reward, not laughter, not attention. And 3. Tell a trusted adult when it's serious. That's it. That's the playbook.
I want to leave you with this idea.
We have this picture in our heads of what courage looks like, right? Something big and loud and heroic. But honestly, most of the time, that's not what it is.
Sometimes courage is just deciding not to laugh at that mean joke. Sometimes it's the quiet choice to go walk with someone who looks like they're feeling completely alone. Those small things, that's real courage. And that's how we actually build a better, safer community for all of us. And this whole conversation about when to step in, it brings up another really important question that people get mixed up all the time. When is it bullying and when is it just a normal conflict? Knowing the difference is absolutely key to figuring out the right way to respond. So in our next explainer, that's exactly what we're going to break down. Hope you'll join me.